Wrong screen. Not sure why it wants to be screen 2. Type show link to drop link. Okay, so while we're waiting for people to show up, let's make some room here. Move this camera just a little bit. Bring this in just a little bit. Oh, we don't want it to fall on our heads. How do you think that works? Okay, that's good. I like that. I like that. And let's raise this just a hair. And okay, so while we're waiting, it's going to be a 1 hour live. We're going to edit. Going to edit that latest cooking episode. While we're waiting, let's play solitaire for a few minutes. Nobody is there yet. Why is nobody here? Let's turn on this computer so we can monitor the chat. Brazil, thank you for coming by. Angela, thank you for coming by. Wonderful to have you. I was just going to play some solitaire, waiting for people to arrive. Let's give you a wrench. Network. So last episode of this editing, we had a bit of a drama in the chat, and so I've turned on subscriber mode only. Hopefully, if anybody's watching that's not a subscriber that would like to join the conversation, then they will subscribe, and that'll keep drive-by trolls a little bit under control. I mean, nothing's. It's the internet, and we're all sharing the things that we're doing here. So let me just turn on this other computer and see if I can monitor the chat. At the same time. Now, the challenge is that other computer just got upgraded to Windows 11, and God only knows if it's going to actually work. But let's be optimistic. The mouse doesn't work. Let's be optimistic and see if we can see our chat on Windows 11. Yeah, we seem to be able to see the, yeah, we're there. That's good. I like it. Let's see if we can see it in Firefox. Okay, we see the chat in Firefox. We don't see the chat in Edge, but it's not the end of the world. Let's go. I think I have to click on this thing to turn that off. Turn off the sound there. Okay, so obviously Windows 11 does seem to work reasonably well. Caesar, thank you for coming by. Simply Melda, I haven't seen I haven't been out to your channel in a while either, so I'm going to make a note to come back to that. Same Angela, I haven't been out to visit Uniwell, so we've got some company. So let's have one game of solitaire just to see if we can remember how to play this. This is an old version of solitaire that I'm keeping around because I don't like the new versions. And let's see if we can win this really fast. If we can't win it in 2 flips of the deck, then we'll just give up on it, right? Because we got more exciting things to do. And the more exciting thing is I'm trying to keep ahead of my publishing schedule. Okay, we didn't win that, so let's say goodbye to that. Let's open up our good friend Premiere Pro, and lo and behold, there is that that recipe already open. So I moved it into Premiere because I wanted to see what the footage looked like, and it's a little bit sad because I changed the lights in my kitchen. The lights are LED video lights, and they for the longest time I've had diffusion on them, and I took that off because I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. And as a result, what happened is it's a little bit overblown, right? So here we don't see a lot of detail in there. If we go in here even closer, so the whites are a little bit too white. I can't do anything about it. It's not the end of the world, but I wanted to just bring that up, that I made a mistake and I've got to undo that. I've got to find my diffusion. It's just a tough spun. These LED lights, they don't need anything that is fireproof, but I've had that from video lights for the longest time. So here we are. What this is, it's chicken fried with yellow zucchini and then a creamy Parmesan sauce. And it started out with big pieces of chicken, and then I decided that the big pieces were too big, and I wanted to get down to forkful. So they're a little bit smaller here than they are back here when they're being cut up. Right here, I'm just cutting the whole thing. So a few mistakes in recording this. So let's start with, as we were last time, we've got the captain here on a green screen talking about how great it's going to be. And what we'll do is we'll get the Ultra key. So in Adobe Premiere, I've made a list of effects that I use on every show. And it saves me searching through hundreds of different effects. And this effect, what they call an effect, it's a process, is Ultra key. We're going to put that in there. We're going to come in here. And we're going to, we know we want to go aggressive because it's darker and lighter. I'm going to actually undo this for a second because I want to, the captain's a bit dark here. He said the lights were too bright over here, but here the lights are not bright enough. So let's give this guy a little bit of light. How much do we want there? Not too much. We don't want him to look like he's squinting into the sun, even though he is a little bit. And now we're going to add the Ultra key so that the color, the lighting has been adjusted beforehand. So now where is our good friend Ultra key? Again, back to aggressive. And we're going to pick the color we want to disappear. So let's try that. So that looks pretty good. All of the green has disappeared. We have an option in here to show us a composite picture. So composite is red, green, and blue, and luminosity. And we want to look at just the alpha channel because that's what's going to be knocked out. So it's not bad. A little bit of gray down here where the light isn't being totally blocked out. Like this green it's really a little bit of green. Let's just make this smaller because we want the captain's head. Hey, go on here. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing there. Anti-flicker, we don't want anti-flicker. Okay, so that's probably a good size for the captain. We want to get rid of this little bit of gray here. And so we could pick different colors of background, but we're just going to choose here when it uses its formula to calculate what green should disappear. If we upgrade the pedestal here, that really reduces the dark areas. And now it's perfect. So we can see the guy. The whole background has disappeared. And we're going to use the same background that I've used from the boat. So let's steal that from another video that we worked on a while ago. It was Cheeseburger Mac. So let's look at the Cheeseburger Mac. Let's grab that and let's steal this. We need these two, and we need that as well. So let's get a couple of things from this other video so we don't have to reinvent them. It's going to be this, this, and this, plus this. So this is the boat background. This is just a waves background. Carrie Velasco, thank you for coming aboard. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming back to another episode of Captain George Edits a Video. So let's get rid of that. Oh, darn it. I did all that and I didn't press Control C to copy it. So let's do it all over again. Open recent. Let's go back here. Let's get this. And let's get that. And we might as well get this seagull sound while we're at it as well. Control C. This time we're going to copy it. We're going to close that project. We're going to paste it in at the end here. And we're going to use this under here. A little bit. But now, this is nice, right? So the colors are good. The lighting is good. We're getting the boat stuff here. It's a perfect green screen of the captain talking about this. So what's he saying? He's saying, let's play it.
I'm going to make a creamy Parmesan sauce for chicken.
Right.
To go with rice and pasta. Sliced yellow zucchini will add some color and a bit of texture. Let's cook.
And the issue is, I had yellow zucchini. I thought of going and buying green, but I do prefer yellows and reds over greens. So that's the introduction. Let's put that over here, get that out of the way, and let's take this, make it a bit smaller, get it to fit just the right size. And let's move this to the beginning of the video clip. He's not going to introduce it, but let's get him over here while we're talking about this. I wanted to do this, and I didn't do this when I recorded this. I just did this before we went live. Now, okay, let's save that there. We don't want his voice on the same channel as this is the background noise of the cooking. We want his voice on a separate channel so we can control how loud it is, and also control a little bit the effects, because there's a background hum in here. We want to get rid of that. Putting it on its own track makes it easier to manage here. Okay, now what have we accomplished? We now need to find the intro food element, right? So here, and here will be the end, right? So here he's saying that was good. So we'll save that for later. We'll come back to that. So here, so this is where it's a little bit too bright. I'm really not happy with that at all. Like I expected some nice colors. And the other problem I had here is I picked out some pieces of chicken, and interesting. I picked out some pieces of chicken and zucchini that had more color, and I wanted them to be visible, but I turned them around to be visible by the camera, not by the viewer. And that was a bit of a mistake as well, right? So I guess a couple of things can happen. One, what would happen if I just turned this around? What would happen if I did a 180 on this? No, now it looks like it's hanging on the ceiling, so that's not a good idea. It's too late. I can't do anything about it, but I really wanted to feature these extra bits of color. And in fact, I did some food styling here and washed some of the sauce off of these pieces so that they would stand out. Let me just do one other thing for this. So this is recorded as video, right? It's got the plate being dropped down and me, the captain, picking up a piece to eat. But I also have this as a still. And the still was shot with a different camera and different lights. So let's just look at the stills for this and see. So here we see the color of the zucchini, and we see the brown of the chicken a little bit nicer. The problem is this isn't video, but I think I like the color better than I like than I like the video version. So maybe let's go for that. Not sure what the difference is. Maybe I held the camera a bit further away from the food. Let's bring this picture in and use it in the video. And let's see what it looks like. Hello, oops. Helps when you record, drag it to the right track. So there it is. Oh my God, look at the texture there. It's a huge file. In other situations, I would play with it in Photoshop first, but I'm quite happy with the colors there. I can make the shadows just a little bit darker, increase the contrast just a little bit more. So maybe we'll just use this instead of the video. And it's 5 seconds long. The default in Adobe Premiere is that every still becomes 5 seconds. And let's make it 8 seconds. That's 9, 8. Why 8? 8 is a good number. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to animate it. So I'm going to change the size and even the rotation, because I think that will give it a little bit of a movement. Let's turn that. Hello. Okay, and at the end, I want it to be, that was minus 9 degrees. Let's go plus 8 degrees. What? Oh, I guess minus 8 degrees. Okay, so now, okay, that's turning a little bit. And what we'll do at the beginning is we'll make it a bit smaller. No, let's make it a bit bigger. And then at the end, let's make it a bit smaller. Okay, that's too far. So let's just go to 0 here. So now it looks okay. I prefer real video, but I like the color is much better. So let's do that. And we're going to copy it. We need it at the end, and we need it at the beginning. And maybe at the end we can use the real food, but for the beginning, for the intro, let's use the good-looking stuff. So it's cheating a little bit. That's okay. It's television. Okay, so that's that. And let's see here what we're doing. Let's bring that in there. Let's bring that there. And let's, in all these videos, I'm using this cross zoom. It's the only filter, only transformation that I'm using. So What does that look like? Is that too boring? Maybe not. Yeah, it's a little bit boring. It's a little bit boring. What if I were to change that a little bit? It's too long, right? It should only be 5 seconds. 8 seconds is too long. So let's bring that all to here. Bring all those effects to here. Okay, so the other problem that we have here is this is, so I want motion to be continuing through here. Let's move that. So now we've got some motion and we get into the guy talking. Okay, that's good. So now, where does he say let's cook?
Let's cook. Sliced yellow zucchini to go with rice and pasta. Sliced yellow zucchini. We'll add some.
So let's cut him in half here. And what we're going to do is add a shot of the pan that's cooking this stuff. Because what I've got now is the introduction to the finished product and a little bit of the cooking here. Okay, I like that. So here, so even though the light was a little bit flaky, this still isn't bad, right? The colors are nice. The white isn't overblown. So it's really at the end, when I had the finished product, that I wasn't happy with it. So let's copy this and stick it at the beginning. We'll keep the sizzle. And let's put that in here. And what we really want is to make this fit into that space. Now, I don't know how many seconds we're going to use. Okay, so we've stopped stirring it. That's boring. So we're testing it there. Okay, so let's get 5 seconds. It starts here. We got to take out that first 8 frames because let's go to 5 seconds. Where's 5 seconds? That's 11, 8, 7, 6. Let's go with 6. Bring that down here. Okay, we're going to bring that here. We're going to put in this cross zoom between the captain talking and the actual cooking. And let's see what that looks like. Hey, Easy Home, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming aboard. Really appreciate that. Let's give you a wrench. We've went to subscriber mode only. We keep some of the trolls. So basically everybody gets a wrench because I love you all. Let's give you a wrench. There you are. And yeah, Easy Home. I can't remember what I was looking at something yesterday. I can't remember. Indian food. It was good. It looked really good. Tasted really good. And I think I said I was going to steal some of the spices from my own recipe. Okay, so here we've got this. So that's while we're talking here. Actually, we don't need a transition. This will do the transition all by itself. That sounds nice. Okay. So now then we got the captain again. And he says,
sliced yellow zucchini. Sliced yellow zucchini. We'll add some color and a bit of.
And what I want to do, I haven't done this before. I'm going to have him talking under
sliced yellow zucchini. We'll add some color.
So that is a little bit more Okay, let's get rid of this part. We don't need that, so we can remove one track. The
Slice yellow of the
and what we're going to do is we're going to lower the level a little bit when he's talking. Put in a keyframe here and go down 10 decibels. So let's see what that sounds like.
sliced yellow zucchini. We'll add some color and a bit of texture. Let's cook.
Okay, and we need, we're going to do this again. Cross zoom there, cross zoom there.
Sliced yellow zucchini. We'll add some color and a bit of texture. Let's cook.
Okay, so now, that's good. I need a sip of water. I need a sip of water. Okay, now, so that takes care of the introduction. Now, the next part is boring, right? Because it's cutting up a bunch of chicken. And I'll tell the story again that a long time ago, beginning of the year, I did a recipe on liver and onions. I'm going to do another liver and onions for later on in the week. And I started with cutting up some onions and cutting up some liver, but it took 2 minutes to do that. Now, in real life, it probably took 3 or 4. And somebody responded that they just wasted 2 minutes of their life and they want those 2 minutes back watching me cutting up liver and onions. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, take this off here. And I cut very slowly. And I cheated. I cut it in slices here, and then later on, I cut the slices in half because they were too big. I like my meat to be a mouthful. Not. I don't want to have to use a knife to cut meat that's in the sauce on rice. So what we'll do here is we'll speed this up first of all. Hey, we'll speed it up to be 160% of regular, so almost double. So now how long is this? It is now 21 minutes, 21 seconds, way too long. Let's make it zoom out just a hair. And the reason for recording it in 4K is so that I can zoom in and out virtually to fit what I want to have happen here. And I think the other thing I wanted to do here, I want to use this as stock video. So but shoot, I might have a logo in that. Yeah, there's a logo in the fork, so it won't work as stock video because I can't have logos. Hey, Brendan, thank you for coming by. Is it scientific? No, it's not scientific. It's cooking. But I guess you could call it cooking chemistry. Okay, so this is too slow. We don't want 21 seconds of. I think it could be a little bit faster without it looking unrealistic. Let's go to 200%, double speed. Now we're down to, hello. How many seconds are we down to? 17 seconds. Bit on the long side. Okay, we're putting it in a bowl. Yeah, that has to happen because it's going to get put in a bowl. And we're going to then add some spices and some flour. So maybe that's not too long. Okay, let's put that next to here. Let's make this zoom out a little bit. Oops. Don't want to do that. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I haven't figured out how to do audio comments yet. I would like to do that. Um, I'm doing this on the computer, so it's a little bit different than working on a phone. Any name will do. Hey, you works. Okay, so now we've got the chicken in a bowl. We're going to add some spices, some paprika, and we're going to mix it up. And I guess, hey, Susanna Morzone, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by. I haven't seen you in a whole day. Um, okay, so let's see. Okay, what size is this? This is 85% zoomed. So let's go 85% as well. And see, does it line up? No, I want to be further out because I want to see more. I don't want to see the label on the side of the paprika. Yeah, that's the whole problem with spell check as well. I know I worked on one project where people wanted to do voice dictation, and it had all kinds of issues. So, okay, so now we're going to add some garlic powder. We'll go to 85% as well. This is 73%. 73. Okay, so now we're going to put some garlic powder. So it's a little bit boring because there's lots of spices. Now we'll mix it up a little bit. We don't want too many minutes of mixing. What do we got here? 15 seconds. That's more than enough. Okay, so let's bring this down to here. And let's bring that up to our good friend, the captain. Right at this point, we're going to end up with just the cooking. Oops, let's just change that. What's going on here? That isn't what we had in mind. Take that off. Let's put that on properly. And then, so we're zooming out. Captain's talking, says, let's cook. And then we're going to start cutting up some chicken. So cutting up chicken. Yeah, chicken in a creamy Parmesan sauce to go over rice. Other people have done the same thing, leaving the chicken whole, but I want the sauce to get around all sides of the meat. So there's a thing here. And I did it with a fork, and the fork isn't really that good an idea. I've never used gloves. So now we're going to add some flour to it. And I should have used my hands right away, because here I'm using my hands, right? So let's mix it up a little bit here. We don't want 15 seconds is plenty. We're going to add some more flour. And then we're not going to have too much of that clip. And we're going to then knead it by hand, because doing it with a fork is a bit of a pain. Okay, Brandon. Yeah. Please do. The how come? Okay, so now let's, so we knead it by hand, and we're going to let it sit. Okay, so that's the prep there. So now I recorded the cutting of the zucchini, and I'm going to leave actually in sequence, but I'm going to move it a little bit later because I want to not be too boring. Okay, so I said the pieces were too big. And I'm going to say when I'm talking about it that I'm going to cut the pieces into smaller. How many seconds is that? Oh, 21 seconds. We don't need 21 seconds of cutting. 15 seconds is plenty. Let's center it a little bit. There we are. That's good. Okay, let's go double speed here as well. But I'm going to go 180. Okay, so now, so we're going to cut it up. Okay, cut. That's good. Okay, so now we're going to get it into the frying pan. So here, okay, we're going to put some oil in the pan, start with some action. There we are. Let's zoom out just a hair. Center it. I don't know why this isn't centered. I guess I wasn't watching centering in the monitor. We don't need this to sit and watch the oil while I'm reaching for the plate. And now we're going to put that in and let it start frying. I'm not getting enough sizzle at the beginning, so I might move the sizzle sound a little bit, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, I'm going to talk about making one layer. And, to deal with the sizzle sound, what I'm going to do is we're going to just unlink the audio from the video. And what we're going to do with that is move it over a little bit so we get some sizzle sooner. And what we'll do is we'll just okay, that's the bad idea. Let's put in a audio fade here. That isn't what I had in mind either. Oh, that's the problem. There's an empty spot there. I didn't do a good job of that. And let's make this crossfade longer. That's good. I like that. Okay, so now we got that. Okay, so here now, so we've done that. So that's going to start cooking, and what we're going to do is cut up this piece of zucchini. Okay, trimming the ends off isn't that exciting. Again, we're going to run it at 180%. How many seconds is that? That's 34 seconds. We don't need 34 seconds of 22, 18 seconds. It's still pretty long. That moves it back to okay, so this is a bit long, but we'll talk about making sure that it gets fried on all sides. Keep going as long as there's action. Okay, there's the end of the action. Let's see, let's zoom out. 73%. Does that look good? That looks good. I like that. Let's go 80% here. Make that fit. That's good. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that's going to be a bit too long. Yes, if we get bored, we're going to make that shorter. And now, okay, so we don't need this piece. Let's get rid of this guy. He's a duplicate. In real life, it was sitting there and cooking for 3 minutes, I guess, of the chicken before I put the zucchini in. We don't really need to stand there and watch that. Number 12. Let's get rid of number 12. I'm going to go out here to my, my file, collection of files. That's the number 12. So number 12, we don't want. We're not going to use it. We'll just rename it. We can delete it later. I cleaned up the hard drive this morning and deleted a bunch of stuff. But this way, it gives me the opportunity to bring it back if we really need it. Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, so the lid is on. Let's put a cross dissolve in here so it doesn't sound so harsh. I love that sizzling sound. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's go back to the 73%. We made it 60 because we used that at the beginning. No, what's going on here? I guess I moved adjusted the camera. So let's go higher. Okay, so here we're stirring. We put in the zucchini. Now we're stirring some more. Okay, do we need more stirring? Okay, so we don't need more stirring, so let's get rid of this clip as well. Number 14, you're gone. Number 14, there you are. You're gone. And now what's this? So this is more stirring. Nothing's actually happening here. This is the one that moved to the beginning. So here I'm checking to see if it's done. Okay, so I'm checking to see if it's done. Do we need this? It's done, so we're going to stir it up. Okay, so we're going to leave this in here. I don't know, let's take 11 seconds of it. Oh no, we want the part where it's got the lid on it, right? Okay, that's the lid. Let's take off a few seconds here, 13 seconds. That's nice. Okay, so now I've took the lid off. A little bit more steam than I had hoped for. Keeping the steam from getting into the camera. No, I'm just talking about I've got extra footage of stirring, and that gets boring after a while. You can save it for one of those ASMR kind of videos where people watch stuff going around in circles without it actually meaning too much. So here, now we're stirring. We're going to cut into it to see if it's done. It's done. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to put it aside. Okay, we don't need how many seconds of that? Let's go 15 seconds of putting it aside. I talked while I was making it there. It's not the end of the world. That'll get hidden by a little bit of music. I can maybe just change the sound effect. So the sound out, let's do that. Unlink that guy. Unlink that guy. Now here, okay, so here's where he was talking. So let's just make that smaller. And we use this sound here. That way, okay, and that's good. That's nice. Okay, now, so then what have we got? So now we got a frying pan. And we're going to put some broth in it. Okay, so here we got some broth. Okay, Brandon, thank you for coming aboard. This will be live. Today's Monday, Tuesday. We've got the live from the boat on Wednesdays. This will be uploaded on Thursday. So I've still got to do the ingredients. And it's going to 80% here. But I appreciate every minute of everybody watching what we're trying to accomplish here. Okay, so we're putting in some. How small can we go here? Okay, that's chicken broth. There's some chicken broth. There's some cream. It's just sitting there staring at us. Now we're going to mix it around. Rusty Rivers, thank you for coming aboard. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I've got to go back to your channel. I haven't looked at you in a whole week. There's got to be some good, new, interesting stuff there. So what are we doing here? So now we're going to put in a heaping tablespoon of, what the heck was this? Parsley flakes. Some more garlic powder. And mix that around. That's as much excitement as we're going to get out of mixing 20 seconds. Yeah. I got to see if I can talk for 20 seconds. Okay, what am I doing here? Salt. So I put in too much salt. I put in too much salt. I had planned to put in 1 tablespoon, or actually it wasn't even a whole tablespoon. And I think I got too much, so I'm going to have to just change the recipe to be half a tablespoon. Okay, what am I doing now? We're going to add some Parmesan. A cup of Parmesan. Stir that around. Okay, so we got a lot of stirring. I'm hoping this isn't going to be super boring. What are we doing now? Okay, we're adding a touch of flour to thicken it. Some people will say I should mix the flour into the cream before I pour it in. Probably not wrong, but to some extent I wasn't planning to put flour in. Okay, enough mixing of that. And now what am I doing here? Okay, so this one does nothing. What is it? It's just boiling, right? It's not even boiling. It's just sitting there thickening. Let's get rid of it. Here we go. Project number 25. You're gone. Where's number 25? Number 25. Just sitting there doing nothing. Okay, so here, okay, so we waited too late. So see here, there's the sound is gone for the first 8 frames. So what we're going to do is I want to start at the beginning. Usually I just cut out the 8 frames. 8 frames is a quarter of a second. And but here, because the spoon is going in there to do a taste test, I don't want to lose that. So we'll do our taste test. And we're going to move those together. And again, we're going to unlink the audio so that we can get rid of this little piece that doesn't have any background sound. That's really just the sound of the room. There's a fan going and the bubbling of the sauce. We're tasting it. And now we have, it tasted good. So now we don't want that spoon sitting there by itself. Okay, we're mixing in the chicken and the okay, let's cut that. Okay, how big do we want this to be? Let's zoom out just a hair so we get sort of the whole frying pan, all the colors. Okay, it's in there. Let's cut that there. And then we're going to stir it. Does that look good? We're putting it into the pan, and we're stirring it. Yeah, there's action all the time. And talk about stirring it so that we coat all of the Okay, so it's a little bit too long, but let's leave it for the time being. Easier to, okay, so we're going to put some rice in a plate. Now again, I learned this from the restaurants I was photographing. If you're doing this at home, you're just going to scoop the rice out of your bowl and stick it in the stick it on the plate. But okay, as I said before, so this, I'm not impressed with the color of that. This one's a little bit better, so let's get rid of this guy. It's the same thing, right? There, we're tasting it. Let's put it on the plate, on the mat. Okay. So this is the same thing. I was just trying different angles. Let's get rid of it. Reveal in project. It is number 29. You're gone. Where's number 29? Don't need that. It's over here. 26, 27, 28, 29. Get rid of that guy. And let's bring that together. So here we're putting it on, dishing it out, dishing out, dishing out. Okay, far enough. We don't need more. Okay, that looks nice. So now the question becomes, okay, so I'm not going to use it. I use this still image where, as I say, the camera is aimed at the pretty looking pieces of chicken and the pretty looking pieces of zucchini. So we've used that at the beginning. And so now we're going to, what else have we got here? We're going to bring the captain back.
That tasted great over rice. And it's not going to help in your veggies when nobody was looking.
That's it. I mean, zucchinis are good all by themselves, but definitely if you're trying to get people to eat their veggies, hide them under some sauce and nobody will know. Sorry, let's find this cross zoom here. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little bit too short. I really want to be here. That's where I want to stop that. So there's some action with the fork being used to pick up that piece of chicken. Let's bring that in here and let's see, does that look good?
That tasted.
Pick it up and that's good. Perfect, 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 perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's get this here. This is our background for the captain. And now we're going to add on here the recipe.
That tasted great.
And we're going to cross zoom Works better if you have it lined up properly. We're going to cross zoom that. Whatever that was, we don't want that. And that's the ingredients. So this isn't the ingredients for this, because the ingredients here are chicken. I don't know, what was it, half a pound? I guess it's a whole pound. 1 pound chicken breast. And what else do we have in here? I'm going to improve this, but for now I just want something in here. Chicken breast. We've got 1 tablespoon garlic, paprika. 1 tablespoon garlic powder. We don't have any onion. Let's get rid of that. That's 1/2 tablespoon salt. 1 cup of chicken broth. 1 cup of cream. 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan. Grated Parmesan. And 1/2 pound zucchini. Is that how you spell zucchini? We'll have to double check that. So having said all that, I'm going to pull the plug on this. I need to go and deal with something else. We've basically solved the whole thing. It's 8 minutes long. I'm happy with that. We're going to end up with our seagulls as we have in the last while. I like that seagull sound. And I'm going to thank you for coming by. We'll be live on the boat. Let's get rid of this. We'll be live on the boat on Wednesday evening, and this will be live on the channel on Thursday morning. So hopefully I'll see you on the boat. We'll see what we're going to talk about. Otherwise, have a good couple of days, and I'm going to make an effort to come by and check everybody's channel out and say hello to you there. So let me hit end stream. Do I want to end? Yes. And